We'll still stay with this sad story, and we are joined on the phone by the Member of Parliament for Ikuapem North, the Honourable Sammy Awuku, to reflect on the passing of his colleague and fellow MP, Ernest Kumi. If you can hear me, Sammy, welcome to Channel One Newsroom.
Good evening, and thank you for having me on such a sad evening.
All right. First, our deepest condolences to you and the entire NPP. Now, you shared a touching tribute on social media mentioning that Ernest Kumi sat directly behind you in Parliament. How would you describe your relationship with him, both on the floor and beyond that?
Well, first of all, I had known Ernest not just in Parliament. We were both communicators for the party. He's been an activist of the party, so have I been an activist of the party. I've seen him go through tragedies and triumphs. In fact, in the 2020s, when he made an attempt to even become a legislator and it didn't go well, he never gave up. I went there to campaign with him. In fact, I actually named him Akwetia Starboy because I told him he was just too nice and pretty for Akwetia. I always tease him. And Ernest then, as fate will have it, becomes a member of parliament for Akwetia, and I become a member of parliament for Ikuapem North. In the chamber, he sits directly behind me. So I always go like, anytime I see him, I said, Ikuapem North and Akwetia have non-aggression treaty. So there we don't fight. And not a single day will he not touch base with me on issues we need to catch on, be it politics, be it social issues and all. Fast forward on Friday, I was there in the morning and His Excellency, the former Vice President, asked me to see him over one or two discussions. So while there, he asked of Kumi and said he needed to conclude on a discussion with Kumi that he had started a week or so ago. But is he in town? So I called Kumi and Kumi said, oh, he's around. So I should tell the Vice President, former Vice President, he's on his way to him. Then we all laughed on the phone. And I said, okay, then I'm taking lead. So when he comes and he's done with the old man, he should then touch base. True to his word, after his meeting with the former vice president, he called me that, oh, he just finished their meeting. Now they've concluded on all the outstanding matters he needed to update him on his legal matters. Then he said he had promised even the former vice president that myself and him and two other MPs, we're going to take him out for fresh air. Since after his election, he's normally, indoors. So we passed a joke about it. Then I said, oh, Kumi, then let's wait till Monday when we meet in the chamber, then we discuss the details. Little did I know that was a goodbye call for my brother, for my friend, for my colleague soldier and patron.
That's a very sad one, but you've served the party in various capacities, including as a national organizer and youth organizer.
Yes.
Now, I'm sure your paths crossed in those roles. How would you assess his contributions to the MPP and to the Eastern region, which you both represent?
This is somebody who gets the job done without complaint. That is one. Kumi always looked out for his brothers. He actually looked out for me last week over a matter that I won't go even into detail. So this is something that, unless he doesn't hear that a brother is potentially falling into trouble or there's a matter. I worked with him as youth leader. I worked with him as organizer. Well, I can call myself a perfect gentleman, but I think Kumi was a perfect gentleman. A great gentleman, solid, sharp, and had a good temperament for the politics, the acrimonious politics of our country. He simply had a good temperament for it.
Let's look at his political journey, which was backed by a lot of legal issues and all that. How do you think that had an impact on him?
It did, because Kumi did not even get one full month to concentrate on helping his people in Akwetia. In fact, I even, about 2 months ago, I told him when he's done with his legal matters, we both contracted a consultant that was working on our foundations for us in our constituencies. So the consultant had finished mine, my foundation matters and gotten this social welfare thing, and the consultant was waiting to start Kumi's own. They had met, they had discussed extensively on the various components of his foundation. But then I told the consultant that Kumi has too many legal things he's thinking about. So maybe we can give him some 2 months for him to wind up his legal matters. In fact, I can tell you for a fact that, look, the gentleman was just stressed. Today's high court is political, undermining his victory, pulling him to the high court. The next day they are pulling him to the Supreme Court. My brother did not even enjoy the benefits of serving his people with a clean conscience, clear mind for even 7 months.
Right.
He never had the benefit of concentrating on his people. So every day he was being pulled to the court. It was quite draining for him.
Right.
And I quite remember one time, Commander, I'm just tired.
Wow. Right. So given his passion and resilience, what kind of political future did you envision for him had his life and career not been cut short?
This was a gentleman on a horizon. And as I said, he had the right temperament for the difficult politics of our country. He was always so much into consensus building. He loved people, and he had empathy for people. And honestly, this is somebody that I would have always tipped and destined for greatness.
Right.
He will bear no grudges. He reaches across the aisle. And there's one fundamental and cardinal thing about him. He looked out for people. As I said, even me, constantly, and as recent as last week, he looked out for me because I was almost in danger.
Right. Now, finally, paint a picture for us of the void his passing leaves in Parliament, in the MPP, and in the constituency and the region, Eastern region.
I think we have lost a solid gentleman. One of our bright petals and flowers has been plucked. And the void, we can only ask God for another Kumi. Because I don't know how, but the MPP has lost a young, beautiful soul. The MPP has lost a gallant soldier and a patriot. The MPP has lost a quintessential gentleman with the right temperament for consensus politics. And let me express my deepest condolences to the wife and the family, to my colleagues, members of Parliament, to the Eastern Regional Bloc of the NPP, and to the NPP bloc as a whole. We are already 88. Today we have lost another colleague, bringing our numbers down to 87. In times like this, just as the book of Ecclesiastes says, that no one can anticipate the time of disaster, like a fish caught in a cruel net or a bird caught in a wicked trap. So are humans caught at a time of calamity when it suddenly falls upon them.
Right.
Rest well, soldier. Rest well, my brother.
Thank you very much.
When I turn my seat, I don't know who to watch again, because my backbone and the one who sits just behind me is no more.
Right. It is well said. Thank you very much, the Honourable Member of Parliament for Awuku, the Honourable Samuel Awuku.